The 883rd edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com and use promo code MMA SGPN.
Yo, Generinos. Welcome to episode 883 of the MMA Gambling Podcast, the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to Alex Cruz on YouTube, who says, The Berserker. Yes, that is me. I am the Berserker, Jeff Fox. At least currently I am. We are here for another episode, obviously. Oktagon 74, one of our favorite promotions, regional promotions, has a pretty stacked card. Even with some fights falling off last minute, it's still
literally last minute. We were about to record these when we I think I messaged you twice this morning to be hey, there's a switch.
Yep. That's Gumby Vreeland. He's the Octagon expert. I am, as I said, the Berserker Jeff Fox. Yeah, it's still a good fight card. We got two title fights, and we got the Tip Sport Game Changer tournament. So, fun fight card, right, Gumby?
Yeah, it sucks a little bit that Igor Severino is getting replaced because that Severino versus Cartwright fight was really hard to call. I went back and forth on it like 3 times when I was trying to call it. And the problem was the line was still wide, which I think is what kept bringing me back to Cartwright. But alas, Cartwright has taken himself out of the fight, and he's now fighting Elvis Silva, which is a much less fun fight, which we'll get to in a bit. And then I do really hate that the guy who I had predicted was going to win the Tip Sport Game Changer is now not in it. Mateusz Panaj, for those of you who don't know at the time of listening here, has a really bad staph infection that is popped back up. It's actually what pulled him from the Wawrzyniak fight. What was that? 2 months ago, they were supposed to do their quarterfinal fight, and Panaj pulled out then. It was apparently a really bad staph infection. It cleared up, came back, and he's going to be out of it now. They have to move on. So we're getting a replacement fight there. Hojat Khajevand is in instead. So weird switches at the last second. But again, still 6 fights. We still get to see Wawrzyniak fight. Khajevand will probably bring a real weird fight out of him, which we'll talk about. This women's bantamweight main event is a fight I've been waiting for. It's like a real sick one. Lots to like here.
Yep. Well, it's and I'm sure I will butcher some names because it is Eastern European. And that's
which ones would you butcher?
Yeah, I don't know. This one's a little
unless you continue to butcher Wawrzyniak, which
Wawrzyniak's that one's
I think you're used to him by now.
Yeah. It's more KSW, I guess, that I butcher because they are more
they're tougher for sure.
Yep. All right. Let's dive into her. After I remind you, if you haven't checked it out already, our football previews are back. Being the SGP, being the Boss's podcast. So the Sports Gambling Podcast is back with the 32 NFL team previews. Check out the Dallas Cowboy one. There's a cute guy in that episode. They're also bringing back the phrase that pays. Each episode, they'll give out one word of a 32-word phrase. Submit the phrase for a chance to win a $1,000 circa future. Okay, let's tell you about the card that we were dancing around here. It's called Oktagon 74, Bolander versus Szabová, Prague, Czech Republic, August the 9th. I believe I have a relative in Prague currently. This is going down this Saturday at noon. So this is going to be a multiple screen day for you because the PFL Africa we just talked about is also at noon on Saturday. Then the UFC is later on the day. Central Tennis Court. How do you say the city's name out of thing, Gumby? Stvanice. How do you say that? Or not the city, but
I don't know. I'm not looking at it.
Stevanice. It's in Prague. I know how to say Prague, though. We got 10 fights. We're going to break down 5, and then we'll have lots to choose from for our lightning round.
We're going to break down 6. We actually got
6. You're right. Yes.
Yeah, because we got the 4 Tip Sport quarterfinals and 2 title fights. And even though we usually try to cut it down to 5, when you got a tournament that's for more than $1 million, you can't skip those or title fights.
Yep. We're starting off with one of those tournament fights right now. 185. That'll be middleweight tournament quarterfinals. Krzysztof Jotko, you know that guy. He's from Poland. Marek Mazuch, he is from the Slovak Republic. I just looked it up. I forgot about it. Yes, Slovak Republic. Let's break it down. We do have odds for you for this too. Odds dropped early. Mazuch or Mazuch, probably 9-3. Mazuch, right? Duh. See, I told you. Even simple names, Gubby. Mazuch is 9-3 with 7 knockouts. He's been knocked out twice, submitted once. You owe us rounds, sir. 4-3 on Octagon. 3-1 over his last 4. He got TKO'd in his last bout. He's fed at 205. 2015 Pro MMA debut. 1-0 boxing, 2-0, I think it was exhibition boxing, if that matters to you. 2-0 in Pro Muay Thai, 7 years younger than Jotko, plus 300. Jotko is 26-6 with 1 no contest, 6 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out twice, submitted twice. 1-0 in Oktagon. He's won 2 straight and gotten 4-1 with 1 no contest over his last 6. He's not lost since October 2022. No contest was from PFL, a fight he originally lost, and then his opponent popped for steroids.
Do you know who that opponent was?
Yes, it's why am I blanking on his name? He won the tournament, and I can't remember his name. He's from Ireland.
He didn't win the tournament.
Oh, he's a champ though. In case
Octagon champ.
Octagon, right? What's his name? I mean, I can't remember.
Will Fleury, yeah, Will Fleury, double division champ.
Yes. All right, Jotko, 11-6 in the UFC. So he had a good run there. He hasn't lost outside the UFC. That means he's 15-0 with 1 no contest outside the UFC. He technically lost though. Used to fight at 205, 2010 Pro MMA debut. He's an inch taller than Mazuch, minus 450.
So Mazuch is like, first of all, he's a replacement fighter in this as well. This was originally supposed to be the quarterfinal spot for Vlasto Seppo, who had to fall out of this tournament as well. Mazuch got to be the lucky loser who got back in.
Right. He had another fight scheduled too, so
Yeah.
that's why I didn't bother with the short notice. They both were fighting this card.
Yeah, they call it the lucky loser, by the way. I didn't.
Right.
Just call
Okay.
him I just didn't call him a loser.
He's a lame-o.
They had a vote for what was called the lucky loser. So when somebody dropped out, Mazuch was the first one in. But he got knocked out by Wawrzyniak in the first round already. So like he's kind of already shown what he's in. But I know people are going to be tempted to pick him here because he is so damn exciting. Like he's such a fun fighter in terms of bringing the pace, bringing the action, throwing haymakers, shoot a big blast double, like he does a little bit of everything. The problem is I just don't think he's technical enough to hang with Jotko. The reason Jotko is listed the way he is in the book is just because you said it. He's beaten anybody who's not in the UFC, and he's done so in maybe not an exciting way. He's kind of pitter patter on the feet, wear you down, and he's gonna. I mean, even in that fight with Will Fleury, which he lost, that one was up at light heavyweight, and he had he was winning kind of the grind early in that fight. He took down Will Fleury, which, as we've seen so far in Oktagon, is damn near impossible to do. So, I really like the fact that Jotko has all the skills he needs. I also like that he fights crazy composed because you really have to against Mazuch in order to make sure you don't fall into his crap. So I'm going to go with Krzysztof Jotko here. Not an exciting pick, but probably the one who gets it done.
A boring pick for a boring fighter, right?
That's right.
A non-finisher. All right. We are sticking with the tournament. There's a lot of familiar names in non-tournament fights too. So this is a pretty stacked fight card. We're going to Kerim Engizek versus Mick Stanton. Stanton is from England. Engizek is from Turkey. Let's break her down by telling you about Stanton first. The Hojat Hammer is 14-8, 6 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out once, submitted 4 times. He's 2-0 in Oktagon. He's won 2 straight and 5 of 6. Cage Warriors champion. He was regional champion as well. He used to fight at 170 and 205. 2-1 is a pro grappler, plus 163. So he is a dog in this one. We got you Engizek, the favorite here. He is 22-4, 13 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's been submitted twice. He's 4-0 in Oktagon, and the current champion of the weight class. He wants to win the big bucks, though, right? That's why he's in this here tournament. So his belt is never on the line, though, right? In any of these fights, I don't.
No, it's not, because they're all 3-round fights,
right?
So when Oktagon sets up the Tip Sport Game Changer, they basically just freeze the title. Although they did just have a interim fight. Murdoch is now the interim champ in this division.
Oh, okay, cool. So they're setting him. Yeah, that's weird because you would think the winner of this tournament would be the title challenger, but anyhow, they'll figure it out.
Unless it's Engizek.
Yeah, that's true. If it's him, then it works out perfectly. Engizek has won 15 straight fights. He's not lost since September 2014. He also has multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get a shirt, get a merch, get all the good stuff. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Used to fight at 170, 2010 pro MMA debut. You 1-0 as a pro boxer, 4 years younger than Stanton, an inch taller, minus 225.
Yeah, I'm gonna go favorite again. I'm gonna go Engizek. I think for me, the problem with Stanton is just his stand-up. I don't think can hang with him. Mick Stanton, I think, spent I went back and I watched his quarterfinal fight. I think he spent 6 seconds on the feet, maybe total.
Yeah.
And he's not even trying to hide that that's what he's doing either. He just, I'm going to come shoot a takedown and I'm going to be in on it. And like, hey, look, it worked once. Good for him. But, and just like, I think it's just better than that.
Yeah.
Like I think he can defend enough of the takedowns and force you to box. We even saw it when he won his title, right? Like he beat Patrick Kinsel for the belt. And when he fought Kinsel, like, yeah, Kinsel's going to shoot some takedowns and have some control time, but like it didn't really amount to very much. And Zek put it on him late. And he doesn't have 5 rounds here to work, so it's a little bit harder for Engizek to put it on him late. But also, like, again, Stanton got really badly outstruck by Bolander in that Cage Warriors title fight. When he couldn't get Bolander down, it was a nightmare for him on the feet. And Engizek, like, he's a guy who blitzes really well. He comes forward with combinations. He's hyper aggressive, and like does enough to defend the takedown. So I just think Engizek just too good on the feet, too fast on the feet. Stanton not one dimensional, but like one dimensional with his intention, and I think that cost him here.
All right, you've got a couple favorites. We'll see if we get some dogs after the break. After I tell you about mybookie.ag, we are brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet in every sport, including MLB, WNBA, golf, and of course, football futures. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations. They have easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Check out all the MMA lines there as well. Obviously, when you do head to mybookie.ag, use our promo code MMA-SGPN. That way you get 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code MMA-SGPN. And you've heard us talk about Rhythm before, and they just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends, essentially the best of the best of what their house model has to offer. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a high ROI. Think a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Power Trends are updated daily, exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets. Here's some stats for you. MLB Power Trends are crushing it. A lot of unders on batter hit props that are collectively hitting at a 70% rate. Fading players is profitable. WNBA Power Trends since the All-Star break, 27-16. On Power Trends with a 23.36% ROI. They're absolutely cooking. Nice little bankroll builder for NFL, which is right around the corner. If you haven't heard yet, download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. We will be. Gumby has been. He's WNBA expert now, thanks to Power Trends, right?
Yeah, now they've made me pretty much the most knowledgeable guy on the planet when it comes to WNBA. I'm hitting Kelsey Plum's higher than on her assists. I'm hitting Paige Bucher points. I'm basically a regular expert now.
Of course you are. So you can be an expert too, and you can check it out for free. Get your 7-day free trial at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. I had Bucher's over points on Friday night, I guess it would have been. So
yeah, me too. Yeah, it was,
or higher.
It was only like 16 and a half or 17 and a half. She had 21 easy.
Yeah, and she scored 20 plus every time she's played Indiana. But anyhow, we have a very good podcast on the network called the WNBA podcast. So check.
They're good to listen to too. Yeah.
It's what's his face? The
villain. Yeah.
Villain and Ryan Reich, Scott Reichel, who knows about every sport somehow. He's one of those.
Yeah, he's a really good tennis analyst.
Yeah, crazy, right? He knows everything, every sport. All right. We are moving on up the fight card. We're at 185 still. Obviously, Dominik Humburger, Mark Hulme. Demetrius Johnson's coach, Mark Hulme.
No.
Guy.
That's Hume, not Holm,
yes,
right now. This one's DDP's buddy, right?
Mark right. Holm? Yes. Yeah. Humburger's from Czech Republic, and Holm is from South Africa. You could probably guess if he's DDP's buddy. 3 5-minute rounds, 185. We'll tell you about Humburger first. He's a Humburger of a fighter. He's 10-2, 8 knockouts. He's never been finished in a fight. He's 1-0 in Oktagon. He's won 2 straight and 3 of 5. TKO win in his last bout. He's fight at 205. 2 years younger than Hume. An inch of reach on him, plus 240. Hume is 13-3 with 8 submissions. Never been finished in a fight. 1-0 in Oktagon. He's won 5 straight. Won his last bout via submission, not surprisingly. He's not lost since March 2021. Went 0-1 in the Ultimate Fighter. He's a regional champ. He's fought at 170. 2014 Pro MMA debut. Minus 350. So he's getting the UFC bump here, perhaps?
Yeah, a little bit. And also, he looks so dangerous in his first fight. He's one of those guys who I faded coming into this Tip Sport Game Changer tournament, and he just, completely proved me wrong.
I'll show you.
He put such a dud in the Ultimate Fighter that he, convinced me he actually sucks.
Yeah.
he fought Paddy McCrory, and I think he got guillotined in the first round. And not that Paddy McCrory isn't good. He's picked up a couple of nice wins in Cage Warriors, and I actually think they just signed him to a Contender Series fill-in bout too. So we're going to get to see more Paddy McCrory soon. But the bottom line is, like, Hulme looked dangerous, particularly with the counters. He does a really good job of, even when he's being pressured, being able to find the moment to, like, crack his opponent real good. And, like, he's been known to have some, like, pretty good jiu-jitsu, even though, like, maybe that's not what he's been using necessarily to look dangerous lately. And, like, Humburger came in as a huge underdog in the first fight of this tournament. And, like, look, he overwhelmed. Who is it that he beat? I even wrote it down. Krzysztof. He just overwhelmed Krzysztof with, like, pace and being in his face. But he did get smacked a few times with counters in that fight, because, like, the thing I've noticed about Humburger, and I think it's what cost him when he was in KSW too, is just, like, the pressure's there, the pace is there, the offensive technicalities, are all, like, put together well. But it's just, like, his ability to think defensively, I think, just kind of goes out the window when he's singularly focused on his attack. And I think that's dangerous here against Hulme. Like, Hulme has the ability to really hurt him with a counter here. And I think the bigger problem here for Humburger is if Hulme hits him with a counter and hurts him, I think Hulme will instantly go to his BJJ and, like, be on his back. Because, like I said, Hulme is, like, kind of known for his grappling, even though he's looked more dangerous with his hands the last couple of fights. And so, like, I think what you're going to see here is Humburger trying to get in his face, trying to push the pressure, trying to wear him out. And he's just going to eat one thing, and that's going to be enough for Hulme to have the opening. So I'm going to go Mark Hulme here. I will say the odds are a little wider than interest me, though, because this is a pretty wide line here for Humburger being the dog that he is.
Yep. All right. We are moving on to a fight we were talking about off the top. Where is it on the old? There it is. Piotr Wawrzyniak. Wawrzyniak, he is from Poland. Hojat Khajevand. He is from Iran. They're fighting in the Tipsport Game Changer 185 tournament, as everyone else is that we're talking about here too. Khajevand is 9-4, 3 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted twice. He's 4-1 in Oktagon. He is taking this fight on short notice. He's won 2 straight and 5 of 6. Both of his past 2 wins have come via TKO. He's at plus 165. Wawrzyniak Pitrik is the nickname, 14-6 with 9 knockouts. He's been submitted 3 times, 3-1 in Oktagon, and the former champion. He's won 2 straight and 7 of 8. TKO win in his last bout. Regional champ. Used to fight at 170. 2011 pro and May debut. 3 years younger than Khajevand. 3 inches taller. 3 inches of reach advantage. Minus 244.
Yeah, this is Wawrzyniak all day for me. Khajevand, I mean, he's cashed really nice for us as underdogs or as, like, slight favorites so far on the prelims. Yeah. I just think this is too much. He's definitely a wrestle first kind of guy. He's that, kind of the style you come to imagine with him being Iranian. He's got the Iranian wrestling background. But, like, Wawrzyniak 100% is going to come into this fight with sharpening his striking. Because what Wawrzyniak thought he was coming here to do was occasionally wrestle Mateusz Panaj and then have to deal with those, like, praying mantis ass arms that Panaj has, which are, I mean, dude, he's just shaped absurdly. But now Wawrzyniak finds himself, like, having sharpened his hands and fighting a guy who probably couldn't have dealt with his hands before. Like, Wawrzyniak is, I mean, he hits really hard. He's put combinations together. I mean, like, he won his fight over Mazuch, who's now shockingly back in the tournament. He won his fight over Mazuch by knocking him out with what I believe was a left. I think it was a left hook that dropped him. And so, like, Wawrzyniak is a guy who's, like, sort of always, in my opinion, been, like, a wrestle first guy, but, like, has really, like, come around to, like, kind of evening out his game. And, he won that absolute dogfight in the fight prior to coming in to the Tipsport Game Changer tournament. Like, Mazuch made him work for that one. And, he's tough as hell. The wrestling is good offensively and defensively. I mean, he was damn nearly the champ in this division before he, like, kind of fell apart in the late rounds of that fight. So, I think he's too much here for Khajevand. I think it's a big step up. I think you're going to see him probably use his wrestling just defensively here to try to keep the feet. And I think you'll see the hands are just too much for Khajevand.
All right. Wawrzyniak is the play. All right, let's give you one more. play off here. This is actually a non-tournament fight. We're into our two title fights at the top of the card. This is for the Oktagon Vacant Bantamweight Championship. So of course I have to ask Gumby why.
The Andre Lima. Nope. Felipe Lima. Sorry, wrong Lima. Felipe Lima's in the UFC now.
Yes. And he didn't want to get bit, perhaps, either. That might have been it. You never know, right? Because the vampires in this...
Did you see that when Severino signed with Oktagon, they kind of leaned into it a little bit at first?
I think I rember this. Yes, I can't remember what
like look who's somebody's chomping at the bit to get in on these bantamweights or something like that. Like it was their social media team was on it, man.
Yes, naturally. That would be Igor Severino. That's the guy that we're talking about who likes to chomp on people. He famously, who was it that he bit? He's still in the UFC too, isn't he? The guy that he bit.
Yeah. Although he just pulled out of a fight, I think.
Yeah.
So that's why I remember.
Yeah. Anyhow, Igor Severino, Brazil. Elvis Silva from Brazil as well. 5-5-minute rounds, 135. Silva is Karate Kid, not the Karate Kid. Karate Kid. So no trademark infringement there. He's 15-8 with 1 no contest, 4 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out twice, submitted twice. 1 no Oktagon. He's taking this fight on short notice. He's won 2 straight, 3 of 4, and 3 of 6. He's not lost since June 2023. He's a regional champ. He's fought at 125 and 145. 2012 Pro MMA debut, plus 400. Severino, the Hannibal. 9-4, not the cannibal. 9-4, 4 knockouts, 4 submissions. Never been finished in a fight. 1 no Oktagon. He won his last bout. He went 0-1 in the UFC. 1 no Contender Series. Regional champ. He's fed at 125. 9 years younger than Silva. 2 inches of reach on him. Minus 6'6'7", not plus.
Yeah, we barely need to do a breakdown for this, right? Like the bottom line is that like Silva's taking this on like 7 days notice. This was such an intriguing fight when it was Cartwright because Cartwright is like, I don't know, he's looked kind of good in his wrestling at times. Other times he got out wrestled by Jose Johnson, but like other times his wrestling looks really good. Severino did a really good job of defending Jonas Magard and sort of turning that fight into a little bit of a dog fight. And then you bring in Elvis Silva, who's, recently got knocked out by Yair Farias, who's a Fighting Nerds guy I like, but he got knocked out by Yair Farias, and Farias went 0-1 on Contender Series, losing to Connor Matthews. So like, Elvis Silva's chin's there to be hit. I've seen him taken down and dominated on the ground too. Granted, he's fought some pretty good competition too. It's like one of those losses is to Gabriel Santos, but like, he's fought good competition, but just like anytime there was a step up and he wasn't just fighting like a Brazilian regional fighter, he's found himself in too deep. I think the biggest problem for him is that like he's willing to take one to give one. And I think in this case, he's going to take one really violently. And then also, the grappling game of Severino, I think is also underrated. It was one of the things I had written down to include in my take when we were talking about if this was going to be the Cartwright fight is like, yeah, Cartwright's been good wrestling offensively, but he hasn't necessarily defensively. And Severino, when he bit that dude,
Andre Lima.
Not Felipe Lima, who was dropped the title, which is okay. Now we're full circle.
Yes,
all the
Seinfeld episode.
Yeah. But when he bit Andre Lima, he bit him because like in a position where he was getting the wrestling going. I remember being like, why did he do that? Like his cardio was holding up and like he was about to take over this fight with his wrestling. And so like I think he can do that with Silva here too, maybe just without the chompers.
Without the chompers. There's a good episode title right there. All right. No chomping your opponent. But is this a playable line? Probably not, right?
667? Nah, probably not. I mean,
probably not.
Maybe if you feel like you can spruce up your parlay a little bit, because I don't see it. Like he's not gonna lose to him. So like, I mean, it's one of those risk reward things. Like, put your parlay together, slap them on there, and be like, is it worth $7 more?
Yeah. All right. Yeah, makes sense. All right. Before we get to the main event, let me tell you about Circa Million and Circa Survivor. This is definitely worth your time. The world's greatest sportsbook, Circa Las Vegas, of course, is hosting the world's biggest pro football contest. That would be Circa Million, Circa Survivor, and Circa Grandissimo with over $21 million. That's $21 million in guaranteed prizes. You can't call yourself a true degen if you're not competing in the Circa football contest. Come hang out with SGPN at the Circa contest weekend, August 21st to 23rd. For an amazing weekend, including live shows and open bars. Plus, you get 15% off. You get 15% off a stay at the Circle with promo code SGP15. Contests are open to everyone. Sign up in Nevada and play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com, use promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. And Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. No waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy football. Underdog also is a great place to play at Pick'em, where you can win up to 500 times your entry. Gumby, I bet, has a play for you right now.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a weird one for Monday.
Okay.
How about Cade Povich is higher on his strikeouts?
Who is that? A pitcher, I assume.
Right, Cade Povich. Maybe you haven't heard of him, but he throws for the dauntingly bad Orioles right now, especially bad after the trade deadline.
Yeah.
They're going to be playing the Phillies. And look, he's not been going deep into games. Like I think his last game, he threw 3 1/3, but he struck out 4 in 3 1/3. And the Phillies got tons of swing and miss in their lineup. So, give me the higher than on his strikeouts.
All right. Whatever that guy's name is, take him. What's his name again? Cade
Povich.
Cade Povich. Okay. Take that and take our code MMA SGPN. So MMA SGPN. Take it over at underdogfantasy.com and you get a special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. Underdogfantasy.com, promo code MMA SGPN. And we are to our main event. Gumby was waiting for this fight, he said. So wait no longer. Oktagon Women's Bantamweight Championship. Cecilie Bolander. She is the current champion. She is from Norway. She's fighting Lucia Szabová. Szabová is from the Slovak Republic. They're fighting at 5-minute rounds, and they're fighting at 1:35. Challenger first, the Silent Killer. She's 9-0. 5 2 knockouts, 5 submissions. All those fights taking place in Oktagon. Submission win in her last bout. 2-1 in pro Muay Thai, 4-0 in pro kickboxing, the champion there. 0-1 is pro grappler, 3 inches taller than Bolander, a year younger. She's the favorite, minus 323. The champ, the dog, 4-1 with 2 submissions. Never been finished in a fight. 1-1 in Oktagon. The current champion. She won her last bout. She's a regional champ. She's a judo medalist at the European level, plus 239. So the champ is the dog.
Yeah, and I'm going Bolander. She's been so good for us in the past. The rematch with Lucy Pudilova where she was an underdog and not only cash as an underdog, but won the title in the process. And I've got questions about Szabová. So Szabová, yeah, better kickboxer, probably going to be faster than Bolander on the feet, right? But Bolander hung on the feet and busted up Lucy Pudilova, right? Lucy Pudilova's pretty damn good too. So even though Bolander looks slower, she is crafty as all hell when getting in. And then the other thing I don't like about Szabová, and the thing that makes me keep questioning, is she as good as her record? And people seem to hype her, and the books seem to hype her up as. And the reason I don't believe it is the opposition has been really terrible. Despite fighting in Oktagon, she was supposed to fight Lucy Pudilova. Pudilova got pulled. She was supposed to fight Bolander. Bolander got pulled to fight Pudilova. She's just had a lot of fill-ins, and even in those fill-ins fights, there's tons of moments where you're how come she has not gotten off the fence yet? Why is she still stuck against the fence against I'll give you a name, Anita Alvarez. When she fought Anita Alvarez put her back right against the face, or, same thing when Rosa Guimarães, same thing. Rosa had her back against the fence and she held her there in position for a while. And while that wasn't a big deal in those fights, because she was such a better striker when she separated and when it broke up, it is a problem against Bolander, because as we've seen with Bolander, that judo plays. When she pins you against the cage, first of all, she hurts you, and then second of all, she gets your ass down. And so, I know Szabová has been tough. I know she's undefeated and stuff like that, but I do think Bolander just drags her into a type of fight she's maybe never been into. And I think the holes we've seen from Szabová against lesser competition, I think they shine brighter here. So I'll take the dog in Bolander.
All right. Finish with a dog. I like it. Actually, we're not totally done. We got lightning round. Let's give you a recap. He's got Bolander. He has got Severino, obviously. He has got Wawrzyniak. He's got Hulme. He's got Engizek. And he's got Jotko. Lightning round is that Bam Boom Pow.
Yeah, the first person I'm going to take is Niamh Kinahan. So Niamh Kinahan, you probably never, if you're not a Muay Thai expert, you've probably never heard of her. She's 0-0 coming into this fight. She's a massive favorite, but she's probably a good piece to throw into a parlay like Severino that can pull it down a little bit. She's an exceptionally good striker. She was a 4 different time in 4 different types of belts in Muay Thai, right? She won the like WBO, WCA, like ISKA. She like won all of those titles. She was nasty. Basically, she made the switch over because she got bored. So like she's now over, and they gave her, instead of giving her a wrestler in her first fight or something like that, they're giving her somebody from Muay Thai who is also 0-0, who she has a Muay Thai win over. So like, just pump that line up a little bit. I'll take Neve Kinahan. And then the other one I'm going to take is Camille Onizuk. So he was a guy who he fought Engizek in the first round of the Tip Sport Game Changer. And it was just like, it was a dog fight. He was an absolute dog in there. I see him posted in like the 130s or something like that. And he's fighting Zawada, who I've kind of made a lot of money just fading, because like Zawada kind of falters when he gets on a big spot here. And I think the grappling of Onizuk is good enough. So I'll take Onizuk. I'll take Kinahan as my 2 lightning round plays.
All right. Lightning round over. Episode over. You can talk to us more in the Discord and Sports Gambling Podcast.com/Discord. MMA Gambling Podcast on YouTube, Twitter, SGPN MMA. He's at Gumby Real, and I'm at Jet Fox Writer there and on Instagram. Check out my Substack, moneymma.substack.com. Check out Gumby's other podcast, Top Turtle MMA. Who's on it this week?
The aforementioned Neve Kinahan, who is making her MMA debut this weekend. And then also from the UFC card this weekend, Julius Walker.
How do you spell Neve, Gumby?
Niamh. And let me tell you something. Your pronunciations over there in Ireland, if anybody's listening, they messed me up hard, because I had to research multiple times how to say that first name, and I did not believe any of the sources I got.
So there you go. Yeah, it's a whole different world to us. So let's Top Turtle. Check it all out wherever you get your fine podcasts. And of course, you can find all of our stuff at sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. I was going to say we'll be back tomorrow, but we won't. I think we're going to take tomorrow off. And then we got UFC Wednesday, UFC Thursday, and then what's Friday, Gumby?
Contender Series starts Friday. So your third regional episode, we'll go to Contender Series. So on Friday, we'll be breaking down Tuesday's card, and that should give you some extra time to get in on your bets and whatnot.
Yep. All right. Gumby, bid the people farewell.
All right. I'm Data Gumby Freeland. He's the Kirshner Hammer, Jeff Fox, and we will see you on Wednesday.